So do you ever start the day off feeling motivated to stay on track with food, clear on your why and your goal and why eating well is so important, knowing how much better your energy and your gut feel and your bloating when you actually eat on track, and so ready to take on the day and just kind of stick to the plan? Just to hit that empty tank mid-afternoon or after the kids go to bed, where those salty snacks or the kids' granola bars or just whatever stale crackers are in the cupboard won't stop calling your name. And then you give in because you just want to feel better. And it feels like the only thing that will get you there through the rest of the day is a little treat. Now, you deserve it, right? Look, you do deserve to feel better, to have more energy, to feel more confident in your family vacation pics, to feel more like your vibrant self than the kind of moody zombie that might be showing up sometimes, especially my 35 plus women. And the reason I know exactly what's happening behind your closed doors is because I've had hundreds of clients tell me the same story, and I have been there myself many times. It is just how human brains work and the reward system that's built in. Now, to get back your impulse control and turn the volume down on the little craving gremlin chanting snack, snack, snack in your ear every night, you're going to need to figure out which of the 4 main causes of cravings and emotional eating are driving that little gremlin. So using a specific tool to address that cause will help you fix it and make it easier to stay on track. Onto those 4 holes or buckets we need to fix. The first is physical drivers. Now, this is an unpopular opinion in my industry, but you cannot fix food noise or cravings with behavior change alone. Our body chemistry is too powerful, and what works changes based on our age, our stage, and our health situation, especially for women in perimenopause. Now, the meals you eat can either drive up or down hunger and fullness hormones, and the crash that comes from the wrong meal balance can dial impulse control way down and the drive for carby, calorie-dense food way up. That's our biology. The fix for this is going to be balancing your meals proactively, finding the right amount of protein, carbs, fats, and veggies so you feel satiated not just right after, but blood sugar, insulin, and fullness hormones stay steady for hours after instead of just spiking and crashing, 30 minutes later, which leaves you hungry, foggy, and reaching for something that just isn't part of your plan. Now, number 2 is your food mindset and our social conditioning around food. Now, if you think any of these, this one is especially important for you. Maybe it is all or nothing. So I have to be perfect, I have to eat clean. Maybe you don't feel like you can change, or you say things like, oh, I ruined it, I'm gonna start over Monday, today is wrecked. Your relationship with food is wired from decades of conditioning from your family of origin, the people you work with and surround yourself with, and the perfectionistic diety culture we were all raised on, especially my 80s and 90s babies. But food is something you do over and over again every damn day. You cannot be perfect. So if you are constantly starting over, guilting yourself for falling off track, you aren't going to be consistent enough to see results, leading to even more frustration and more screw it moments. Now, the fix for this one is to stop slashing your tires with my next meal rule. So anytime you realize you feel off kilter with food, or you ate that whole bag of chips while catching up on emails, or maybe you finished the kids' mini eggs and had to buy them another bag before Easter, it's really important to pause and just notice your internal dialogue. Do you feel guilty, shamey, screw it, like you can't do this, super frustrated? Acknowledge it and then shift your focus immediately to problem solving. How do I make that next meal or snack healthy-ish? Not low-cal, not clean, not perfect, not make up for what I ate, but better than what we have now. So maybe that's drive through Starbucks instead of Tim's and grab a spinach feta wrap for breakfast tomorrow. Maybe you order healthy takeout from Chopped Leaf or somewhere with great bowls or salads on your way home after work if you ate 7 stale Timbits this afternoon. Just think about what is the next best step. So once you get there, just move on with your day. Let the internal dramatics calm a little bit. Now, number 3 is especially important for my ladies in perimenopause. It's hormonal drivers, but men and my younger women, men can think of this as a daily cycle. Men's hormones do cycle over the day, while women's are monthly until perimenopause. But what we want to think about here is knowing that different phases are going to affect you differently. And for women especially, it's that late luteal phase, so the few days pre-period, where you are bloating, you're feeling anxious for no reason, maybe sleep quality is low, cravings and hunger are often high and intense, and our nervous system is actually a bit dysregulated here. So what we want to think about, or the fix here, is two things. One is keeping an eye for when that's coming. Know what the symptoms are if you're in perimenopause and you're not getting a regular, 4-week cycle, or track it if you are, and plan for a little extra nervous system regulation during that time. So a little mini meditation in the car in the morning, a deep breathing break, before cravings usually get really bad, a walk at lunch if that feels good, to bring dopamine up without food, which we need when progesterone spikes, and then also have a manageable volume-wise treat to address the cravings. I find putting off hormonal cravings too long makes them impossible to fight and super intense, and you end up eating way more than when you just had something a little bit proactively. Now, last but certainly not least is the emotional or stress drivers. So your nervous system and happy hormones have huge control over what you eat. And all the willpower, therapy, good intentions out in the world cannot override your brain's need to balance out its reward kind of chemical debit system and keep those neurochemicals as balanced as possible. So when those kind of chemical cups are depleted, your brain lowers impulse control and increases food drive or food noise, making it almost impossible to fight unless you've got a good foundation of the things we talked about before. Now, the fix here is to be proactive and start adding in small daily bouts of nervous system regulation to keep those neurochemical cups from emptying out completely. We can't prevent stress. I know your life is busy and the schedule is packed, but you can help refill those cups in small ways throughout the day so they don't get too off kilter. Now, these need to feel good in the moment to work for this particular one, so don't clean toilets if you don't love it. The goal is to gradually teach your brain that there are different ways to bump up that dopamine and regulate your nervous system that aren't food, and to trust you that you're going to keep those neurochemicals flowing correctly and take care of yourself when stress is high. Now, I want to be clear, emotional eating or control around food is not a personality trait that you are stuck with. It is actually something I've helped hundreds of clients and myself rewire that relationship with food, find that ease and confidence around how they eat. And that is so essential if you want results from your nutrition that stick longer than a few weeks or a few months. We're all done with that roller coaster. So if you know this has been a long time barrier for you, how does a free session with yours truly sound? So Conquer Your Cravings is a 4-week, self-paced, totally flexible course designed from my 15 years worth of working with clients just like you who struggle with food, understanding these 4 drivers, the practical, the physiologic, of cravings and emotional eating, and giving you a ton of tools to find what works for you. And the first 5 people who sign up before April 30th get a free session with me on top of that 4-week course. So you'll get those 4 must-do modules on each of these drivers, help you ditch that willpower roller coaster so you can feel good about how you eat, no matter what chaos life throws at you, because this is the stage where there's a lot of that. But don't let the brain fog win or the crackers in the pantry. Grab the link below quickly before you get distracted or busy, and get yourself in there before it slips your mind. I cannot wait to dive in with you.